Good evening. Welcome to the Kent City Council meeting for Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. If you would all please rise and join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. If the clerk could please call the roll. Our guest clerk this evening.
Mayor Ralph.
Here.
Councilmember Fincher.
Here.
Councilmember Kerr.
Here.
Councilmember Larmer.
Here.
Councilmember Michaud.
Here.
Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
And Councilmember Troutner.
Here.
All right. Thank you. Item number 3 is approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
We do, Madam Mayor. Council want to remove consent agenda item 8D as Councilmember Larimer is actually here tonight. So that needs to be removed.
8D.
All right. Any other changes? Okay. Seeing none, a motion would be in order to approve the consent calendar with item letter D removed.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the consent calendar with item number or letter D removed.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving right on, we are at item number 4, public communications. The first item we have is some public recognition. This evening, I have council before you on the consent calendar some appointments to the Bicycle Advisory Board. We have 4 new appointments: Gordon, Donna, Maria Castro, Eric Jacobs, and Prem Subedi. I believe that Prem is in the audience. Is Prem here? Okay, maybe not. And then Julie Dunn is a reappointment, fitting within the guidelines of length of service that council has set out. Really excited to bring these folks forward to serve on the Bicycle Advisory Board. As our Bicycle Advisory Board, they help advise the city on places where we need improvement to bicycle paths, markings, that kind of thing. And also, starting last year and again this year, we're holding a bicycle safety rodeo. So giving out helmets, teaching kids about the rules of the road. A lot of fun seeing some of our police officers up there working with the little kids and showing them how to ride their bike safely. So grateful for the Bicycle Advisory Board, and those names are before you on the consent calendar this evening. Next item we have is community events. Councilmember Michaud, do you have any community events?
I do, Madam Mayor. On Saturday from 10 to 2 here at City Hall, we're having a prescription drug take-back day. So that's out front at City Hall, and you can pull up and turn in any prescription drugs. Also, the T-Birds are playing a playoff game tonight, not here in Kent, but hopefully they will advance, and those dates will be posted online.
All right, they're having a fabulous postseason. They're going to make it all the way this year. So thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For this coming Thursday, for April 20th, 6 p.m., we're going to have a reception over across the parking lot, Centennial. It is the Centennial Gallery Artist Reception. So it's free. Come on down, check out some free art, meet some artists. And we have a mini recycling event, 1 to 4 p.m. this coming Friday over at the Downtown Kent Library. All sorts of things can be brought back. Check out the website.
All right, thank you. That brings us to the last item under public communications. That's our public safety report. And joining us this evening is Chief Rafael Padilla.
Now and then that just catches me off guard. I don't know why. Well, good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. It's my pleasure to bring tonight's public safety report to you. It will be a shorter report, but we've got good stuff here. So with that, Kim, are you? Oh, you're not. You're doing the honors. Got it. All right. Thank you. First off, we have a swearing in. First slide there. I want to call up Officer Adrian Rojas Medina. Come on up front, please. So right front and center here. Thank you, sir. And yeah, perfect. Just like we rehearsed. Awesome. All right. So Officer Rojas is of our newest addition to the Kent family. And as I've talked about before, in this time where it's very difficult to hire, I think, in any profession, it seems like, but in law enforcement, the opportunity to have lateral officers, and in particular, in-state lateral officers, start with us is a huge benefit. And that is what Officer Rojas is. He comes to us from Kitsap County. And this is a reminder for the community. What that does is it shrinks the time that he's deployable as a fully functional solo officer down to about, it shrinks it down about 5 to 9 months. It's a significant turnaround on that. So, and they're, I call them the unicorns. They're not easy to recruit. So, but we were able to do it, and we're very glad to have him. So, a little bit about Adrian. He's born in Seattle, raised in Bainbridge Island. After high school, he attended EMT school, the Fire Academy in Belia. So, I do have to take a little guilty pleasure here in that I'm doing an informal count, and I think we've matched the number of officers that have gone to become firefighters as the ones that have come to be cops from firefighters departments. So I'm feeling good that he could have gone that way. We brought him over to the light side. That's awesome. Before Kent, with his training, he worked as an emergency medical technician for TriMed for about 2.5 years. He also worked in emergency room technician for Valley Medical Center. So got to get a deep medical background, which he will definitely put to use here. And then he was hired by Kitsap County Sheriff's Office in 2021. Worked there until he was recruited here. And so we're very happy. He chose Kent because he has friends that work here, and they have nothing but good things to say about the city and the agency. Additionally, we have opportunities in terms of specialty units. It's a family-first mindset here, is what he said, and he likes the diversity within the department and the city. Were pluses for him to come here. And Adrian is the only member in his immediate family and extended family that work in the public safety sector. Ladies and gentlemen, Officer Adrian Rojas. Ralph, if you could do the honors.
We're going to make this officially official. It's nice to see you. You could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the United States of America. The state of Washington. And the city of Kent. That I will uphold the Constitution. And the laws of the United States.
And the laws of the United States.
And the state of Washington.
And the state of Washington.
And that I will obey the rules and regulations.
And that I will obey the rules and regulations
Of the Kent Police Department.
of the County Police Department.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, yeah, go ahead and take it.
Welcome.
With a good team.
Welcome.
All right, man. Congratulations again. All right. All right, I'm going to go off script a little bit because I have someone fetching a very important item called the award that I'm presenting. But there is an issue, not to make light of, that I was going to address at the end of my report. I'll address now. For those who have been following the media, you've probably heard by now that we had an officer-involved shooting incident this afternoon. And so I wanted to provide some update, a little bit of information on that. And then we'll get to the important word that I forgot to grab off my desk. The good news is, for me, our officers are okay. None of them were seriously injured, okay? So prior to 2 p.m. today, we received a call of a domestic dispute up on our East Hill. And the report that we had from the caller was that there was a verbal dispute. male roommate was acting erratically and appeared to be intoxicated. I don't know what from. During that time, they had an argument, I guess, and basically she just wanted him to go. He wouldn't go, so she called. While we were responding or waiting to respond, the male went into the garage, and so she locked him in there. That did not make him happy. He began yelling and breaking items in the garage. This is what she reported anyway. And then eventually, broke the door to get back into the residence. She left the house at that point, which was probably a good call. Our officers arrived at that time, and the male was in the garage. They attempted verbal de-escalation skills to get him to come out. During the initial conversation, he obtained a canister of gasoline and did apparently drink some of it and pour it on himself. So our officers called for fire and got a fire extinguisher right away. They continued to talk to him, wasn't successful. He obtained a circular saw, grabbed it, turned it on, and held it up, and then began walking. The officers retreated. They tried to get away. One officer deployed less lethal multiple times. It did not impact the male or slow him down at all. At one point, he charged at the end, and the officers had the fire, and they did. They also immediately got to life-saving aid for the male. He did not survive. And so it's a tragedy that he's passed, but we are doing an independent investigation per the law. We've called in the Valley Independent Investigation Team. And so what I have shared with you today are just the initial facts. I think it's important for the community to know what I know at this point. From here on, the investigation will be handled separately, and we'll have to wait for more information as it comes. So I wanted to just put that out there. It's been so covered broadly by the news. So in case there was any issues or questions on that. And Mayor, did you have anything for me on that?
Any questions for the chief?
No. Okay. All right. Apparently we couldn't get the life-saving actual award, but we're going to honor our Autumn here in just a second. I'd like to call up Corrections Officer Autumn Hirschbeek. Come on up, Autumn. So every now and then, you'll see that we'll get a life-saving down at our corrections facility. And it's easy to forget that we have a jail and we have a really good staff down there. And a little bit about Autumn is we were able to steal her away from King County Detention a while ago. And she's been an awesome fit with the team and has been doing an amazing work. And so we're so happy to have her. And let me talk about what happened. Back on November 18th of 2022, Corrections Officer Jill Kinsella discovered an unresponsive inmate in the work crew dorm. Corrections Officer Hirschbeek and another Corrections Officer, Alt Bunnell, and Corrections Sergeant Chris Ward all moved to start life-saving efforts for the inmate. Narcan was administered by Officer Hirschbeek, and then that worked a little, but didn't do the trick, and so a second dose was administered per our training. They were able to get a response, get the inmate stabilized, get medical aid in there for advanced life-saving efforts, and our inmate survived because of the actions of our team, and in particular, Officer Hirschbeek. So we are recognizing her and commending her for quick actions, as most certainly saved the life of the inmate. And Corrections Officer Hirschbeek embodies the Kent Police Department's mission of protecting and caring for people in our community, our value of service, and our vision of improving the lives of our community members. So I'd like to congratulate, and we will get you that plaque. Anyone to give a shout out to?
I just have my friend, Officer Winglos. He also works for Kent, and then my boyfriend, Josh.
Welcome and thank you. Big dedication. You can't see back home, but he's wearing a Seattle Kraken jersey, which means he's missing the game as we speak. Thank you very much.
We'll get you home in time. Well, I guess we won't.
All righty. Well, that was a little just join in, but that completes my report for this month, Mayor, unless there are questions.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for the chief? All right, I'm not seeing any.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are going to, before we move on, I did want to acknowledge Prem Subedi, the nominee to the Bicycle Advisory Board, has joined us, and just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to be here and for volunteering for the Kent Bicycle Advisory Board. We are very, very grateful. So thank you. All right, moving on to reports from council and staff. It's an opportunity for you to hear from our council members about the work that they do outside of these council meetings. So everyone is on committees outside of these council meetings, and they're really representing Kent's voice, making sure that in all of those conversations that are happening across the region, that our perspective and the things that our city is working towards and needs are being, that's being acknowledged and represented at those meetings. So I will kick it off. I've got a couple of board reports and then want to share some thoughts about a community member. So first, two transportation boards. I am the chair of the Transportation Policy Board. We are continuing to work on our regional transportation plan. A lot of conversation about the climate portion of that plan. There's going to be a panel of experts put together, national experts in the area of transportation and climate that will be using to advise Puget Sound Regional Council on what can be done from the strictly transportation side to help address climate change. So I'm going to continue working on that. At Skateboard South County Area Transportation Board, we had presentations both from the CEO of Sound Transit, some updates on light rail, the work that we've got going on here in the city of Kent. They're still on the new target, not on the original target, but we're hoping for opening in the coming year or so. And then we had some presentations from Metro, and two of the notable things with King County Metro, just like many organizations, they're having a really hard time staffing. So they have been experiencing canceled routes. We talked a little bit about that and how challenging it has been for them to provide advance notice. So I know that there's a lot of frustration from riders who are standing someplace waiting for their bus and they're not coming. They are working on that. But they've got two new programs that they're using. So any bus driver that they have that's on light duty that's able to, they're now serving in positions called terminal ambassadors, so helping people at those bus stops and bus stations to guide folks around. And then they've also brought behavioral health specialists onto the team to help with folks that are having that behavioral health crisis while they're on public transportation. I want to close out my report with just some sad news. It's been about a week ago now that the Kent community lost a really amazing man, Harry Williams. Many of you up here know Harry from his very long time service to the Kent community, member of the Kent Chamber for many years, member of Rotary, never missed a meeting or an event, had a heart for service like no one else. Harry and his late wife, Marge, were a fixture in this community and impacted so many lives. Harry has now gone to be with Marge, which that in and of itself makes me smile because they were inseparable, and I know that he's happy to be with her, but leaving a huge hole in our community. So just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge the great things that both Harry and Marge did for our community, and say that he will be very much missed. Okay, with that, no graceful segue. It feels like kind of a common theme here, but I am going to turn it over to my right, and we have an amazing face sitting down here at the end of the aisle. So glad to have our CAO back with us. Pat, welcome back, and do you have a report?
Thank you. I do have a report. Thank you very much for the welcome back. Just a few things. First off, we're in the home stretch of the legislative session. As you know, it has been a doozy. It's been one like no other in the past, and we have had a number of staff members working a lot to try to represent Kent's interests in the legislation. Major legislative areas are on the way in land use, drug possession, and police pursuits. Those are kind of the top three. Of course, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other bills out there, but those really took a lot of our time and representation of Kent interests. So particular thanks goes out to ECD staff, the law department, and police staff for just being available on the spot. Legislation gets amended, and we have to respond instantaneously to try to, put Kent's stamp on it or try to avoid unintended consequences and ensure that the people we work with understand the impacts of what is going on. So next week, this should be all over, and we'll see what we end up with. We'll have an update. Brianna will come and give a presentation on the legislative session, I think late May, early June. So that's still being determined. So, and then the other thing is we're excited to announce that our Human Resources Director, Holly Harvey-Smith, will start on May 1st, and I'll make sure that you all get a chance to meet her after she gets settled in. And other than that, my report's in the agenda, and I'll hand it back to you, Mayor.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Michaud.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Earlier, we had an Operations and Public Safety Committee meeting, and we had one presentation, and that was from the Accessoware Center General Manager, Tim Higgins. And overall, he said things are going pretty good. Unfortunately, labor costs, supply costs are up, and then there was one major event that got canceled on the day of the event, so that's not great. But overall, he is optimistic. And then I do have an announcement about a committee that I was appointed to, but I'm going to save it for next time. All right, now I'm going to pass it on to Councilmember Court.
Thank you, Councilmember Michaud. I serve on 3 regional committees, and we did not meet during this time, but I will definitely have a report next time. I did want to say something about Harry Williams. He really was, he did have a heart for service and amazing individual that I served with on Kent Rotary. We have amazing memories at the fishing hole, serving, playing with kids and teaching fishing and cooking that fish for them at the fishing experience. Amazing event that happens. And during COVID times, even after he had health issues and losing his wife, Harry was at the Kent Food Bank serving all the time, every Monday, weekly. He was always at the Backpack Buddies on a monthly basis, Kent Rotary program. And I remember his conversations. He was a mentor to me, and always telling me to, when you're having a conversation, to get more interest in person, always ask for, tell me more. Tell me more. That was his line, and I will always remember that. And it does make my heart smile that he's probably with Marge right now, but we'll definitely miss him. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Councilmember Core. Councilmember Larmer.
Thank you. I serve on the King County Aging and Disabilities Advisory Council, and due to spring break family vacation, I do not have a report. I did not attend on last Friday, so I will report next month. Thank you.
Great. Councilmember Troutner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am chair of the Economic and Community Development Committee. We met on the 10th, and no action items. It was just information only, so if you're interested, you can go back and find the notes or watch it online. I am also on the Regional Transit Committee, and we meet tomorrow. That is all I have. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Michaud. Excuse me. I serve on the Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority, along with Council President Bill Boyce and Councilmember Tony Troutner. Actually, I do not have a report tonight other than to tell you that there is a meeting tomorrow night at 5:30 at Station 74 out in 78 out in Covington. 74 would put you in the wrong spot.
Thank you so much. All right, Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you. I want to let people know, King Conservation District, we talked about rates and charges and an overview of what KCD does. I'll refer you back to the opening session for the Arts and Public Works notes about the arts reception and the mini recycling event, and public and mental illness and drug dependency report next meeting.
Short but sweet, Councilmember Fincher. Madam Mayor, that concludes our reports.
All right, thank you, Councilmember, and thank you all for your service representing our city. Item number 6 is a public hearing. We do not have any. Item number 7 is public comment. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment? All right, seeing none, that moves us on to the consent calendar. The consent calendar is a compilation of work that the council has done at previous council meetings and workshops, things that they have had a chance to ask questions on, have discussion, and has been voted out of those committees with no controversy. Tonight, we have item A through H with the removal of item D. Councilmember Michaud, do you have a motion?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I move to approve the consent calendar, letters A through H, without letter D.
Second.
All right. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Item number 9 is other business, and we do not have any this evening. That brings us down to item 10. We have 3 bids, 2023 plastic markings, 2023 asphalt grinding, and 2023 water main replacement. Joining us this evening is our Public Works Director, Chad Beeren.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thanks for having me. 3 bids tonight. First 2 are kind of more housekeeping type bids. We've got the 2023 plastic markings bid. This is where we go out and replace arrows, stop bars, the little white markings in the street that help you find your way around, lettering. Those are actually thermoplastic, and they need to be replaced from time to time. So we had bids, 3 bids for that project. Low bid was specialized pavement marking at $199,000, almost $200,000, and it was under the engineer's estimate of $347,660. So we're recommending award.
All right. Any questions? All right. A motion would be in order.
Madam Mayor, I move to award the 2023 Plastic Markings Project to Specialized Pavement Markings, LLC, in the, in the amount of $199,920, and authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents subject to final terms and conditions acceptable to the city attorney and public works director.
Second.
All right. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. On to the next one.
Next bid, 2023 asphalt grinding bid. This is where we hire a company that does asphalt grinding to come in and grind out pavement just before our operations crews come in and put in new pavement. So again, various locations throughout the city. Low bid was from AAA Contractors, a local company, for $87,000. Engineer's estimate was about $175,000. We did get 5 bids on this one, and we recommend award to AAA Contractors.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. A motion would be in order.
Madam Mayor, I move to award the 2023 asphalt grinding project to AAA Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $87,115, and authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents, subject to final terms and conditions acceptable to the city attorney and public works director.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. All right. On to the third one.
Third time's a charm. Here we go. Last one's the 2023 water main replacement bid. We have got several locations throughout the city. We're replacing water mains. We have old cast iron water mains. I know people have seen in the news about old water mains and issues. We don't have those issues typically in Kent, but we do have cast iron, which can get brittle and we need to replace. So a number of locations around the city, including in this bid, we have some drainage pipe that we added in on James Street. So we're going to be doing some work on James after the school closure for summer vacation. We're going to get in there and replace a drainage pipe. So there will be a partial closure coming, some lane closures for people to keep an eye on. So that's later this summer. Great bids, 11 bids on this one. Low bid of $1,346,000 with an engineer's estimate of $1.39 million. So excited to have this one in the can. And we got really narrow bids, which meant our guys did a really good job. So we're excited to have it. Recommend award to Scarcella Brothers. Another local contractor.
Another local contractor. Love to see that. Any questions on this one? Okay, seeing none, motion would be in order.
Madam Mayor, I move to award the 2023 water main replacement project to Scarcella Brothers, Inc. in the amount of $1,346,673.84, and authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents subject to final terms and conditions acceptable to the city attorney and public works director.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. One of the things that you heard Chad say is we are going to be seeing some road closures as we head into construction season. So encourage everyone to go to Drive Kent to sign up for those alerts or check out our social media. Always posting there about those road closures. And remember, progress is sometimes painful, but progress is good in the end. So as we hopefully head into the summer, when summer may or may not get here, given that we've had everything from snow to hail to sunshine today. So item number 11 is executive session. We do not have one. That brings us down to the bottom of the agenda. Do want to remind everyone that you should have received ballots in the mail. There are 2 items on your ballots for your consideration, and they are due back next Tuesday. We've got several drop boxes around the city, Regional Justice Center, YMCA up by Kent Ridge High School, or the Panther Lake Library. So you can drop them off either in your mailbox or at those ballot boxes. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.